Good evening and welcome to Vision of Asia, the news you can trust and events that move and celebrate our very own South Asian community. This is Pia Jyoti Kachru coming to you from our ITV Gold studio in New Jersey. In the headlines today, we have New Yorkers urged to stay indoors due to air quality concerns, Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi's US visit to boost defense partnership, says White House, Air India passengers arrive in San Francisco after being stranded in Russia, Goan hospitality amazes French, Korean G20 invitees as they attend financial architecture meet. On completion of 9 years of the Narendra Modi-led government, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar says large parts of world see India as development partner. Harvard appoints Indian-American Ritu Kharlra as VP Finance and CFO. Indian President Draupadi Murmu receives warm welcome by Serbian counterpart at Presidential Palace. Stay with us on Vision of Asia for news in detail right after the short break. New Yorkers are urged to stay inside Thursday as air quality concerns continue due to smoky haze from the Canadian wildfires. Health officials say if you have to go out, wear a face mask. The Canadian wildfires are causing dangerous air quality levels in New York City, the worst since the 1960s. City leaders call it an environmental and health crisis. New York Governor Kathy Hochul also called the situation an emergency crisis, noting that the air pollution index for parts of her state were 8 times above normal.
As we all know, the normal air quality index, safe, normal, is 50. Parts of our state have seen a level of over 400 in the last 24 hours, and that is a dangerous situation. I can give you updates. We have some of the high areas. Brooklyn in the last hour was at 413. This is, again, safe level is 50. This is 415. Health warnings for everyone. The entire population is likely to be affected. Queens, right behind Brooklyn. So we're seeing these effects. That's 407 in the Queens area. That's an 800% increase over what is safe. And this is why we're very concerned. It has an immediate impact on people's health. Irritation to the eyes, the nose, breathing, coughing, and even shortness of breath. So our message right now is going to be reiterated multiple times because it is simply stay indoors. Also, to protect people, we believe that the N95 mask is an important way that people can stop the air particles from getting into their lungs. That is why I'm announcing we are making available 1 million N95 masks that we made available at state facilities.
Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi's US visit to boost defense partnership, says White House. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming visit to the United States, discussions between him and President Joe Biden will center around strengthening their commitment to a free, open, prosperous, and secure Indo-Pacific region. The two leaders will also emphasize their shared determination to enhance the strategic technology partnership with a specific focus on defense, the White House said on Wednesday. Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to visit the U.S. on June 22nd, following an invitation from President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. The Prime Minister and the President will discuss ways to strengthen our two countries' shared commitment to a free, open, prosperous, and secure Indo-Pacific and our shared resolve to elevate our strategic technology partnership, including defense. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said when asked if the defense would be a major part of the discussion between the two leaders.
Upcoming visit, we believe, will affirm the deep and close partnership between the United States and India. The Prime Minister and the President will discuss ways to strengthen our two countries' shared commitment to free, open, prosperous, and secure Indo-Pacific, and our shared resolve to elevate our strategic technology partnership, including defense. So that certainly will be talked about in clean energy and space, and our shared resolve to elevate our strategic technology partnership, including defense. So that certainly will be talked about in clean energy and space.
I wanted to ask you about, we are 2 weeks away from the state visit. Secretary Austin was in Delhi this week, and I guess there's some other high-profile visits happening between them now and then. would defense be an important part of the discussions with Prime Minister Modi and President Biden?
Say that last part.
Would defense be an important part of discussions between the two leaders?
Oh, defense. So, look, I don't have anything more to say at this time about the visit. As we get closer, certainly we will have more to share. What I've said is the upcoming visit, we believe, will affirm the deep and close partnership between the United States and India and the warm bonds of family and friendship that link Americans and Indians together. So that is incredibly important. The Prime Minister and the President will discuss ways to strengthen our two countries, shared commitment to free, open, prosperous, and secure Indo-Pacific, and our shared resolve to elevate our strategic technology partnership, including defense. So that certainly will be talked about in clean energy and space, but I'm just not going to get into details on what the particulars will be. And as we get closer to June 22nd, we'll certainly have more to share.
Also have the guest list gone out for the state dinner and the welcome ceremony? How big?
So as you know, we've done this will be our third state dinner. We usually don't release those guest lists until closer to the date. And so I suspect that we will do the same process with this.
Sense of number of people?
I don't have a number to share.
And has the First Lady decided on the menu and the entertainment?
I don't have anything to share. What is today? It's like so early. We still have about 2 weeks left, and that's plenty of time. That's like multiple years in these types of administration and presidential administrations. So as soon as we have more to share, we certainly will. But I wouldn't expect that it will happen before the week of the actual event.
Hundreds of US-bound passengers who were stranded in Russia after engine trouble have arrived in San Francisco on a replacement flight, Air India said. The Delhi-San Francisco flight had 216 passengers and 16 crew members on board when one of its engines developed a snag on Tuesday. The plane was forced to land at Magadan in the Far East region of Russia. The airline has been criticized by many for the poor accommodation and facilities provided to the passengers in Magadan. Goan hospitality amazes French, Korean G20 invitees as they attend Financial Architecture Meet. We all know that the scenic state of Goa never fails to mesmerize tourists across the world. Yet again, India's smallest yet among the most beautiful states made India's head up high with pride. G20 invitees from France and South Korea who are in Goa to attend the two-day G20 meet on financial architecture were awed by Goan hospitality. Approximately 100 delegates from G20 nations, financial agencies were invited to attend the meet in Goa.
The summit in September will be quite successful. For myself, my first visit to Goa, I'm quite impressed. Beautiful scenery, beautiful architecture, beautiful history. India perspective on global finance and India view is maybe more important than ever at a time where the global economy become more fragmented, become more weaponized.
This is my first time to visit Goa. Very beautiful place, very beautiful beach, and actually people are very kind. I was impressed.
And realize what Indian hospitality means. This is very important. It's very elegant, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the delegates, but also G20 India for really very nice hospitality, but also very strong G20 commitment, and also hopefully that the summit in September will be quite successful. And I think this is, from my side, my first visit to Goa. I'm quite impressed. Beautiful scenery, beautiful architecture, beautiful history. And so G20 also helps to discover that the world is not only a couple of countries, but it's very diverse. And I think strong culture, very local culture. And even here in this hotel, the art exhibition is a testimony of this.
Okay. So it's your first time visiting India?
Well, this is more or less my second time. I came here for the first time in 2002, where India was sharing the G20. At that time, it was only under finance ministry and central bank, but this time, almost 20 years later, is with the head of state. So 20 years later, 2 decades, I see clearly that India has already changed a lot in terms of modernization of the economy, infrastructure. So we look forward to a strong success for the summit in September. India is taking over, sharing this presidency. I think it reflects two things. One, that the world is now driven a lot by emerging markets, and India is one of them. India weight in the global economy will be more important. So India perspective on global finance and India view is maybe more important than ever at a time where the global economy become more fragmented, become more weaponized, where you see that geopolitical tension, really reflect now the way we take decisions. So having a neutral broker like India can maybe help to try to bring together what we call the global south and the advanced countries.
This is my first time to join the IFA working group meeting, and I was somewhat impressed by all the active participation by member countries and also international organizations. And I hope to engage in this kind of discussion going forward. Thank you.
This time G20 is held in India. How is the...
Yeah, actually, Goa. This is my first time to visit Goa. Very beautiful place, very beautiful beach, and actually people are very kind. I was impressed very much by all the people, and very good place to have this kind of international event. So very good for me, to pay a visit to this wonderful city, beautiful city.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar briefed media persons and said that the world perceives India as a credible and effective development partner with delivery on the ground with strategic clarity, and the second image of India is that of an economic collaborator.
First point I want to make to you is a large part of the world today sees us as a development partner who lives up to what Prime Minister enunciated as the Kampala principles. So we do with our partners what is their priority. The second image of India today is of an economic collaborator. First point I want to make to you is a large part of the world today sees us as a development partner, not just as a development partner who lives up to what Prime Minister enunciated as the Kampala principles, which is we do with our partners what is their priority. So it is, one part of it is the credibility, one part of it is also what is it we are doing. It is something which is important for them. They have determined what it is, or we have mutually determined what it is. And that, I think, today has very significantly enhanced our strategy. The second image of India today is of an economic collaborator. An economic collaborator not just with the developing South, but with the global economy. And you can see that in terms of the FDI flows, in terms of the increased exports, in terms of actually this very important conversation taking place in the world today about trusted collaboration. I was in my last visit to the US, and Foreign Secretary has just come back. He's taken that forward. The American Semiconductor Association told me that, to the best of their knowledge, they employ at least 40,000 engineers in India on chips design alone, and that's just the bit which they know. So the point I want to make here is, apart from development in terms of South-South, there is a larger economic impact we are making, and that is today increasingly recognized. And the third is really as a contributor. And perhaps there cannot be a better example of our contribution than Vaccine Maitri. I mean, even today, when you go around the world, actually people get emotional talking about the arrival of vaccines. The other example I would cite to you is our growing capability and our growing record as a first responder. We initially did more of this in our immediate neighborhood, but I think slowly with the passage of time that has extended beyond, and you saw really how speedy and effective we were in responding to the Turkey earthquake.
Ritu Kalra, a veteran in the field of financial management and investment banking, was named Harvard University's Vice President for Finance and Chief Financial Officer June 6, 2023. Kalra is currently Harvard's Assistant Vice President of Finance and Treasury and Special Projects Advisor. As VP and CFO, Kalra will oversee all aspects of financial management, including long-range planning, annual budgeting, endowment fund, spending policy, treasury, and financial accounting and reporting. A press release from the university said. President Draupadi Murmu, who is in Serbia on the last leg of her two-nation visit, was warmly welcomed by the Serbian counterpart, Aleksandar Vučić, in a ceremony at the presidential palace on Thursday. The ongoing visit by President Murmu marks the first such visit by an Indian head of state to Serbia. In a special gesture, she was received by the Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić and accorded a guard of honor at the Nikola Tesla Airport in Belgrade. And from the news on entertainment at ITV Gold, enjoy family movie Friday at 8:30 p.m. Soldier, Saturday 1 p.m. Eastern, watch Mere Baap Pehle Aap, and book your blockbuster Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern for Dole. And that's a wrap on Vision of Asia tonight. You can send us your suggestions and community news that you would like us to cover for our print and television coverage at events@itvgold.com, or you can also send it to me at pi@itvgold.com. Follow us on our Facebook handle at itvgold. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and pick up a free copy of Desi Talk if you are in the tri-state or in the Chicago area for community news, entertainment, and events in US. You can also read the News India Times newspaper online at www.newsindiatimes.com or subscribe to the hard copy by calling 212-675-7515. This is Pia Jyoti Kachru signing off.